Hey y'all, Austin here with Outer World Media. Welcome back to another video, guys. This is a big video for the year coming up of 2026. This is going to be kind of the plan slash goal slash reading that I want to do in 2026. So if you can't tell, I'm really pumped, guys. I got the Ric Flair shirt on. I know y'all are wooing with me. We are coming up on, again, the end of 2025. 2026 is like 72 hours away, guys. So you can see the finish line for the year, if you will. So I figured, why not get on here, kind of, just talk about some goals, plans that I have for the year coming up, as well as some books that I want to try to read. So getting into it, what are some goals and plans? The first one being I need to be on here and create more content if at all possible. Kind of been slacking the last few months in that department, so I'm going to try to be a little better about it. Also reviewing books after I finish them. I'm sitting on like 4 or 5 books that I finished that I've not recorded a review for. I just have not been in the mood, but I need to be a little bit better about that. But other than that, the goal is to try and finish a few things and start some things. So let's get into it, guys. What are some things that I am going to try to read in 2026? So, on a side note, and this is also a goal that I have for 2026, I don't want to buy any books in 2026, with a caveat to that. And what I mean by that is there are 5 books that I will allow myself to buy in 2026. Do I consider that kind of a loophole? Yes. Would I buy those books if they were out now? Yes. What I mean by this is they are books that have not been released yet. So if they were out now, I'd buy them so I wouldn't have to buy them next year. But again, with them being new releases in the year 2026, not much I can do about that. So I'm not gonna consider that. I would consider that if I would buy them this year. So starting off with number 1, that is Longmire, guys. Yes, I need to get current and also read the new Longmire when it comes out in May. Yes, I am super excited to continue this. I think I have 4 books left to get current with the series, so just excited to continue and spend more time with Walt and everybody else in this series. I won't say character names because I know there's some people that are going to be picking up the series here and giving it a try. So again, that is one that I'm planning on trying to read in 2026. Another one that I am going to try and read in 2026, or I should say I am going to read in 2026. This is no question, no doubt about it. I am going to read this in 2026. I am wanting to continue, or I should say, start and read the Bible in 1 year. I am going to be reading the King James Version, or translation, if you will, but I want to read this. Start in Genesis, read all the way to Revelations, and read it in a year. It's something I've wanted to do for quite a few years now, but I've never pulled the trigger on it, so I am going to be reading that in 2026. So that shouldn't take very long. That'll probably be wake up in the morning, read that as I drink some coffee. Next, guys, what is something else that I'm going to try and read? Well, I'm not sure about this one. I'll say that. This I bought as kind of a palate cleanser, if you will. And as I'm looking here, it's a little bit bigger than a palate cleanser, I think. But if this reads the way I'm hoping and thinking it might, I'm sure it'll be great. And I am talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl, guys. Yes, I am buying into the hype, and I'm going to give this a shot. It was actually my brother-in-law came over for Christmas and was kind of asking, what is this? And I was kind of explaining it to him as it was told to me. And he goes, that sounds kind of crazy and far out there, and that sounds like that'd be very interesting and a very easy read. I said, that's what I'm hoping for, but we'll see. If you don't know what Dungeon Crawler Carl is about, this essentially is, from what I understand, the Earth is invaded by aliens, and they create this dungeon or tier or something like that, and there's so many levels, and I think each book is a level or something like that in this dungeon game show thing, as far as that goes. And we have our main hero Carl and a cat, which I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm not a cat person, never have been, never will be. that's just not me. So I'm not sure. We'll see how if I like this. Again, we'll see. I'm interested to see how this works and see what what happens there. Again, so kind of thought as a palate cleanser, but it's a little bit thicker than a palate cleanser. And then we are on to the big two, guys. The big kahunas, if you will, for the year 2026. Gonna kick it off with one that everybody probably knows at this point that I'm going to be reading. That is Stephen King. I've gone back and forth. I've debated whether I'm going to read these books in publication order or just kind of what I'm in the mood for. And I think I'm going to go with both. By that, I mean right now I'm reading Different Seasons. I'm just kind of in the mood to read some novellas by him. For example, the Bachman books come before Different Seasons. But I'm just in the mood to read some novellas by him. I've never been a big short story or novella fan, but King's seem to work for me. So I might pick this up after that and just kind of give these a try and see. I'm obviously going to have to finish that before I can pick these up. But I think the big one I'm going to start off in 2026 will be Rage. But we'll see, guys. And then the last one, guys, because I do have some books that I might throw in, but this is one I'm definitely very, very much looking forward to, and that is Brandon Sanderson's The Stormlight Archives. This is a series that I read this first book, The Way of Kings, 2019, I think. We had a huge storm. I remember in Texas we had a huge storm. The whole grid went off, and everybody was living off grid for like a week and a half or so. I mean, even Houston and Padre Island got snow, if that tells you anything. And I read this, and I very, very much enjoyed it. I remember it being a slow burn for the first half, give or take, and then it picked right up. And so I was really, after that, I didn't pick it up, the second book up for whatever reason. And now that this series is finished, I want to read this. It is a long, thick boy. And again, I want to read bigger books. I really do. I think 2026 will be the year of big books, The more I've thought about it, the more I've realized I want to read quality over quantity. Not that there's anything wrong with reading quantity over quality. Again, my reading time is very limited, so I want to pick up and read some books that I want to read. Some other stuff that goes unsaid as far as that Scott Harvath will be on there. I will be reading Scott Harvath. Me and Jay have a different book scheduled that will probably start within the next month or so. And then I have a couple surprises that I think I'm going to try and squeeze in if at all possible. I'm not trying to hold myself to a whole lot. But what I will say is I do have quite a bit of reading to do. So again, guys, that is my reading plans for the year of 2026. Hopefully you guys will let me know down below what are you guys trying to attempt to read. But this, guys, right here, this is the reading plans for me for this year coming up. As always, guys, let me know down below, what are you guys reading? Let me know. Do you guys think I'll like Dungeon Crawler Carl? I'm not too sure, in all honesty, but we'll see. I have high hopes for that series. So just let me know down below. As always, y'all have a good one.